Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Sarah. Welcome back to my channel. And before we get started with today's video, remember to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. And without further ado, let's get on with the video. So, look at me filming in the morning, no less. Sun is shining. Hopefully the lighting is better than in my other videos, because for once the sun is out when I'm filming. And I'm going to be filming my April reading wrap-up. So I read 10 books in the month of April, and let's just dive right in. These are in kind of no particular order. I'm going to try my best to go from the books I read at the beginning to the books I read at the end of the month. But, you know, these are all from memory. So I know that I'm probably going to mess up the order and not have it be exactly in chronological order. So the first book I read is Funny Feelings by Sarah.reeads. This is a rom-com-y contemporary single dad romance. And if you didn't know, single dad is my favorite trope. Unfortunately, I did not love this book. I give this book 3.5 stars. I did not hate it by any means. It was okay. It was good. I enjoyed it. I've moved on. This one is about a comedian and her manager, and I just did not like her style of comedy. It was not for me. So I know this one was popular a couple year ago, and people loved it. So I definitely do recommend, because that is the only thing that I did not like about this book. If I had vibed with her comedy, it would have easily been at least a 4.5. But that really dragged it down, because that part, oh my God. Don't get me started on the comedy. It was not my thing. So that is why it only got 3.5. The next book I read was I Wish You Were Mine by Jessica Peterson. This one is a single dad nanny romance and accidental pregnancy. So single dad nanny, sign me up. I love that trope. And I really love this book. The daughter in this book was amazing. The characters had such great chemistry, and it was emotional. And I don't mind the accidental pregnancy trope. It's not like one of my top tier favorite tropes, but it is a trope that I do not mind. So if you have something against that trope, I know a lot of people don't like that trope at all. If you were one of them, maybe skip this book. But if you are okay with accidental pregnancy, definitely pick this one up. 5 stars if I didn't say already. I adored this book so much. So good. Go read it. Another one I read is Sustained by Emma Chase. I give this one 3 stars. It was not very good. You might be thinking 3 stars. No, that's okay. And yeah, I only gave it 3 stars because of the character. Single guardian, romance, single mom, and it is told all from the MMC's point of view. And he knows her brother who died, and so her brother and his wife passed away. So she's now looking after their 6 kids. And he comes into the picture and helps her take care of them. The kids were amazing. The 2 main characters I really liked. I wish they were developed more. But this book overall, the writing was very poor, and it jumped all over the place. Kind of like I did while talking about this book. Hopefully that made sense. But they were just, it was one paragraph was this, one paragraph they were somewhere else. It was just all over the place. So 3 stars. I do not recommend that book, unfortunately. Another book I read let's talk about the books I read for a specific and special reading vlog I did last month. I filmed a reading vlog where Brooklyn chose my reads. If you have not seen it, go check it out. I loved filming it and loved participating and doing it with her. It was amazing. And so I read Divergent, and Reminders of Him. I read Divergent by Veronica Roth, which I gave 4.5 stars. I loved this book so much. The second half, or not, maybe more than the second half, but the beginning just wasn't it for me. But once it picked up, boy did it pick up. I really do love this book, and I can't wait to continue the series. My next read actually is going to be Insurgent. That is what I'm going to pick up after I film this video. But I loved this book, and I watched the first movie, and I really enjoyed that movie as well. I did love the book more, and we're here to talk about the book. So it is a YA dystopian sci-fi, and basically, if you would like to know more in depth of my thoughts, definitely go check out that reading vlog. But basically there are these factions, and which are like different groups that you live in, and they value a certain trait. And when you turn 16, well, like when you are 16, there is this choosing ceremony where you choose which faction you would like to be a part of for the rest of your life. So that is that. And the other one I read is Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. This is a general fiction, women's fiction, lit fic type book, and I give this one 3 stars. It was not my thing at all, but I still I could see how some people liked it. It's just not my preferred genre, so it already had that not working in its favor, and I don't know, wasn't my thing. But again, if you want more thoughts, go check out my reading vlog. But basically, this is about a woman who just gets out of prison and wants to meet her daughter. So, yes. And it also does have a romance in it, which I didn't feel the chemistry that much. It was very like sometimes I did, sometimes I didn't type of thing. But another book I read was Powerless by Elsie Silver. I adored this book. I love Elsie's writing. I gave this book 5 stars. This is the 3rd book in the Chestnut Spring series. It is a hockey romance, friends to lovers, runaway bride. It was so good. I adored Jasper so much. He is the main male character. And I enjoyed Sloane's character too. I feel like they are very good for each other. And they are true soulmates. This book was so emotional. So good though. I love it. It is probably my 2nd favorite in the Chestnut Spring series so far. And Elsie Silver books are always a good time. Definitely go check this one out. Another book I read was Butcher and Blackbird by Bryn Weaver. This one you've probably heard about. It's quite popular on BookTube, BookTok, Bookstagram, all those kinds of things. And I unfortunately did not really like this book. I gave it 3 stars. This is a dark rom-com, so definitely check your trigger warnings. Check your trigger warnings. And you may think it's the triggers that put me off of this book. And that one of the triggers did, kind of disturb me a little bit, but I got past that and I was okay with that. I mean, it was disturbing. Yes, obviously disgusting, gross, but that's not the reason I didn't like it. I just didn't like the humor. They are basically, if you didn't know, these 2 people, it is a romance book, and these 2 people are serial unalivers who unalive other serial unalivers. And so they start to have their competition, who can unalive the person first, and then they fall in love. And I didn't like their humor towards it because I don't know, they just made a lot of tasteless jokes about discussing things they've done. And I don't know, I feel like the book would have been a little bit better if they just didn't have that humor aspect to it. But I unfortunately did not like this book. But I know a lot of people did, and the 2nd book is coming out in a couple months, in June, I believe, actually. I think. I'm not exactly sure when it's coming out, but I know a lot of people loved it. So if that sounds like something you would like, go check it out. It wasn't my thing. And definitely before you read it, check trigger warnings. Another book I read this past month was Broken Dreams by Corinne Michaels. Corinne Michaels is another one of my most loved authors. She is one of my favorite authors. I love her books. This one was the 2nd book in the Whitlock family series. It is single parents. They are both single parents. He has a son and she has a daughter who are 3 years old, and they meet dropping their kids off at daycare, preschool kind of thing. And so that is what happens. And their kids are instant BFFs. So they spend time together and they just have an instant attraction towards each other. It's not instant love. They do not act on it right away. But yeah, it is a very cute, sweet, contemporary book. And it is emotional because obviously they are single parents and they are both widowed. So there is that. So if that makes you uncomfortable, maybe skip this one. But I adored this book so much. 5 stars. I loved it. Cannot recommend this series enough. I would definitely recommend starting with book 1 in the series, which is Single Dad, and his daughter is deaf, and it's Single Dad Nanny Romance. I adored that book. 5 stars for that one too. I actually liked it even more than this book. So I would definitely recommend starting with book 1. You will not be disappointed. And so another book I read was Good Game by Madison Fox. I loved this one. I gave it 5 stars. This is a gamer romance, which I've never read before this book. This book was my introduction into that subgenre, that trope. And so basically she is falling for him as his gaming persona because he wears a mask, and she meets him and she falls for him there. But she also meets him when he's not wearing a mask, as himself, and falls for him as himself too. And then it turns out he's the same guy. And there is so much drama in this book. The end of this book is just drama, drama, drama. And it's plot twists, and it is so good. I definitely recommend. And the last book I read in the month of April was Canadian Boyfriend by Jenny Holiday. I gave this book 4.5 stars. I really love this book. It is single dad hockey romance. It is really cute, sweet. It's a rom-com, and basically it is age gap. It is about this girl who met this guy at the mall when she was in high school, and she thought he was cute and nice, and so she started telling everyone that he was her boyfriend, because they never know, because he was just some guy who lived in Canada who was a hockey player. And so, yeah, but turns out he was quite a bit older than she thought he was. Well, only a few years, but still. And he is now in the NHL, and she is his daughter's dance teacher. And so she also agrees to start looking after the daughter, because the dad's busy and can't really get anyone to watch his daughter. So she does that, and obviously they fall for each other. And it was super sweet, super cute. I adored it. Go check it out. And those are the books I read in the month of April. If you've read any of these, please let me know what you thought of them down below, or if you plan to read any of these. And if you made it this far into the video, please leave me a pink emoji. And before you go, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to post notifications, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, everyone.